Let's talk about a little bit of sourcing, shall we? We're just gonna jump right in. With no introduction or anything. We just speak about a little bit of sourcing because yesterday we sat together and we spoke a little bit about. We had so many cool stories. I wish we would actually just film that. But now we do this. So we spoke about supplier relationship and how people get screwed and so many different things. Like you told me the story. Maybe we can start with that. You told me the story where like you can get the product in a certain quantity, but your customer could never do that because they don't have the relationship. Like, you remember that?
I think you mentioned about the MOQ, right?
Oh, right, that one. Yeah.
Like normally if they really ask for the higher MOQ, it's very difficult to go directly to the Alibaba to talk with the supplier. And then for me, because first of all, I have my own resource. Like I have all those suppliers that already we worked before together. So we have the trust basic already. So this is like, it will be easier for communication. And sometimes also like when we as like Chinese and I represent like a sourcing agent, that they know they will get more business from me than like the B2C or C2C, this relationship with the foreign customer. Also, like most of the real manufacturing, the people, the English is not really good, or they don't really speak any English at all. So yeah, that's why like one thing that we really can get a smaller MOQ. Yesterday I received an email actually. The customer asked me she want like a candle container, and she want like 10 pieces each style, and she want 10 style. And I believe it's very difficult for her to get this. And what I see, because she also sent me like what she received, and that I can see is like from like a trading company, or that the company that they already have like a trading department to sell the products. So yeah, then this is also very difficult for me too, because for 10 pieces is kind of retail. So first of all, I will be honest to the customer, like for 10 pieces, probably you are not getting the price you are really wanting to for wholesale, but I will try my best. First of all, I need to notice them. But after all, I will tell the supplier that, hey, this is like a kind of like sample. If you can offer the good price, later we will have more order. You always, with the supplier, you always need to like step forward, step back, right?
Yeah, so the customers, I think it's so hard to do that from Europe. Like when you're here, you can talk to the customer and you can talk to the factory, and you already like you say, I think it's so cool when you say, okay, let's build a relationship so we have more clients in the future and we can work with, and that they're actually companies thinking long term. Because I feel a lot of times that like people, the way I get messaged when I speak to people on the phone, and they basically think everyone's gonna screw them. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way that there's anyone who would not screw them. The same with sourcing agent. Like, I had the question the other day. Someone commented on the channel. She was like, "Look, how do I find an agent? What do I pay them?" Right? So I was like, "Well, you just you look out for it. You interview them. You pay them 5% fee." And she's like, "Yeah, but if I pay them like a percentage, how do I know they're not going to increase the price like crazy so that they get more money?" Right? And I was like, there are some people that don't want to screw you, right? But what's your take on that? Because I see a lot of times where people say, well, I don't like, do I need to always pay the 5%, or I just need to pay them the first time? Like, how do you see that basically from your perspective as someone who does the sourcing?
But actually, yeah, as I was mentioned about that before, like why 5%? Actually, be honest, 5% for what we work for is actually very little. But the reason why is only 5%, and we charge it like we put it on the list. We don't hide it hidden. We try not to. Like, this is not really good. I want to put everything on the table. And why 5% is because I look for more long term. Like, I look for the further cooperation that we will keep this running, and then you trust me, I trust you, we trust each other, and this is all most of the business running. But I know, like in China, most of the customers that are Chinese, we are not really.
Yeah, right. So you basically think everyone's gonna screw you.
Because it was like before it did happen. Like I have the customer that they've been chatting with someone on the internet. He found them on Alibaba or like somewhere, like cannot say like from certain place. and then he believed that it's a supplier. So they already like cooperate for 1 year, and then it was exactly like a Chinese New Year, and then the supplier just like, oh, we don't produce this product anymore because the profit margin is not good. So bye bye, see you. We don't produce anymore. So the customer like have 1 month out of stock, like because he need to find a new one, and then he doesn't trust if it's a trading company or it's a manufacturing, and if the quality is good, they need to organize sample and inspection and everything, and then it's not all the time the first sample is good. Second sample, third one, and then he changed the supplier. So like it's a long time. It's quite time wasted. Or one customer of mine also like, he believed he was talking with the manufacturer, and then 1 year he was very happy that, oh, I'm going to the Canton Fair so I can visit your factory. And you know what happened? Like the guy who the supplier he talked with before like never replied, and he was like weird. So he was like checking the invoice that the supplier gave him. He checked the invoice and then followed the address of the invoice, and he went to that place and it was nothing. And he didn't find like any factory over there.
Yeah.
So I think this is very important as a sourcing agent. We make sure about that because we're the local here. And also one thing yesterday we talked about before about the refund. Actually, like if you send like a big volume, like 10,000 pieces, you go send to Amazon, for example. And then there is some quality problem or failure because when they arrive after long time shipment, you don't know what is the delivery company, you know, they throw or whatever, maybe some destroyed. And then when the customer take pictures and prove me that, oh, it got destroyed in the warehouse, I can talk with the supplier and then to make sure in next order, the customer will get extra order. Sometimes it's even more than the quantity that was broken.
Yeah, so basically there's an insurance.
Yeah.
So the sourcing agent acts as an insurance. I think there's so many opportunity costs that people don't. They're like, oh, I don't want to pay the 5%. Like, first of all, they're not actually paying 5%. They're paying, like you give them such a better price, for example, right? And so if they would not have the agent, they would pay more already. And then when something goes wrong, the agent is there to help, right? So I think it's more likely that if they go by themselves, that the factory is going to screw them, or the factory, you know, the supplier is going to screw with them, rather than the agent, right? If you have a good agent.
Yeah, the communication is very important.